Because of how important social connections have become in today's society, many of us may find it strange or even scary when someone expresses a preference for solitude. However, did you realize that spending time alone allows us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level, uncover hidden parts of our souls, gain a greater understanding of ourselves, and cultivate qualities that are hard to come by? In this video, we will examine 10 distinct personality traits of individuals who greatly appreciate solitude from a Stoic philosophical perspective. Solitude allows individuals to connect with themselves on a deeper level, engage in deep contemplation, and live a life that is both simple and meaningful. Being alone is not a sign of weakness or loneliness, but of strength, autonomy, and maturity. These traits not only help them face life calmly and resiliently, but also bring them a meaningful and prosperous life. Now, before we begin the video, I have a small challenge for you. Watch the video and you will see. Stay tuned until the very end. Each lesson is essential to helping you become more consistent with your choices and live a full, peaceful life. If you complete this challenge, please leave a comment below claiming that you are the winner. Now let's embark on a journey to discover the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Number 1. Accept yourself. To truly accept oneself is to welcome and embrace all parts of one's identity, flaws and all. What Stoic philosophers call the light and the dark, acquiring self-awareness and acceptance, is a profoundly spiritual endeavor that requires both intellectual and emotional investment. Epicus. To achieve spiritual freedom, one must first understand and accept their own limitations. Although they cannot change external circumstances, they can control their attitude towards them. As one of the most famous Stoic philosophers once said, the only way to happiness is to stop worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Those who thrive in alone tend to be more accepting of themselves. Every person is special in their own way, and that's why it's important for them to take time for introspection, identify their strengths and areas for improvement, and refrain from being too hard on themselves. Inner strength is frequently discovered by individuals who value solid UDA. By accepting themselves as they are, warts and all, self-aware people are better equipped to live their lives to the fullest, be brave in the face of adversity, and embrace the beauty in our shortcomings. According to Stoic philosophy, we can only truly conduct our lives in harmony with our authentic selves if we have a firm grasp on our identity and the virtue that comes from knowing and accepting ourselves as we are. The path to Stoic self-acceptance is not an easy one, but it is a worthwhile endeavor. It helps us live authentically, not by avoiding reality, but by facing it courageously and honestly. Along the way, we develop compassion for ourselves and others. When we understand the intricate and contradictory parts of ourselves, we are better able to empathize with the actions of those around us. Compassion is the bedrock of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of humanity and the significance of kindness and understanding. Number 2, have a strong belief in your personal values. If you want to improve as a person, make better decisions, and enjoy life more generally, you need to have firm convictions about your personal values. Your personal values are the set of beliefs and ideals that you live by and use to make choices in your life. Instincts like these show the world the things that matter most to you. You are more likely to live a life that matters when you fully grasp and wholeheartedly adhere to these principles. Comprehending individual principles. A person's personal values are the fundamental ideas and criteria by which they live their life. A person's family, culture, experiences, and introspection are some of the many influences on their values. Discovering what matters to you. Think about the things that are truly important to you. Discover your core principles by reflecting on significant times of fulfillment or conflict. Making decisions based on core values. Always operate in accordance with your particular principles. A sense of integrity, less internal strife, and increased happiness result from this harmony. Keeping firm to your principles. Having unwavering faith in your principles entails remaining steadfast in the face of adversity or outside influences. Being resilient is a great way to respect yourself and others. Changes in values. A person's personal values might change as they mature and gain life experience. Make sure your values still reflect who you really are and what you want out of life by regularly re-evaluating them. True pleasure and fulfillment can be yours when you stand firm in your unique principles and use them as a compass through life's twists and turns. One of the most commendable traits of solitary individuals is a firm conviction in personal ideals, which is also a fundamental element of Stoic philosophy. Embracing one's personal principles is a powerful kind of self-affirmation and a path to a fulfilling life, even in the face of adversity. True happiness, according to Stoicism, does not originate from material wealth or praise, but from a life in harmony with one's own nature. Being alone gives one the opportunity to think deeply about their own beliefs and ideals. When you're alone, you can think deeply about these principles and constantly evaluate them. As they seek the truth in quiet reflection, free from the din of other people's expectations, they are better able to hear the heart's genuine vibrations. It is during these times of introspection when individuals can come to a genuine understanding of their values. Being calm and steadfast in the face of external fluctuations allows us to maintain a firm belief in our values, as stated by Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers. Our life is what our thoughts make of it. This means that any pain we may feel is not caused by the thing itself, but by our evaluation of it. Fortunately, we have control over this evaluation. Imagine someone who, when confronted with societal criticism or pressure regarding their lifestyle or views, lacks a strong belief in personal values. Without these values, they would likely waver and lose direction. But those who have these values clearly know what's important and right for them, and they are willing to stand firm even when faced with challenges and opposition. Tell me about a moment when you did what you believed in and followed your heart. What happened? Did you feel a different person? Leave a comment with your story and any insights you may have. Number 3. Intrinsic motivation and mastery. According to Stoic philosophy, those who take pleasure in being alone tend to be highly motivated and skilled at what they do. The absence of external forces is what drives people who are intrinsically motivated by their own personal beliefs, values, and life objectives. Exhibiting self-control is keeping one's emotions, ideas, and behaviors in check so that one's internal equilibrium is not upset by outside forces. Not only does this method assist us in leading fulfilling lives, but it also exemplifies genuine spiritual independence for individuals who value their own company. This inner fire serves as both a compass and an energy source. People with it typically discover joy and purpose in life on their own, unaffected by the approval or judgment of others. As a result, they are able to push through difficult times and keep their composure because they have built inner strength. Think about Henry David Thoreau, a renowned author and thinker, spent time at Walden Pond tending to a variety of tasks, including planting trees, fishing, and writing. He did not abandon city life and its modern conveniences for this reason, but rather out of a desire for a straightforward and honest existence. Ultimately, he accomplished what he set out to do because he was self-motivated and did not care what other people thought. This embodies Stoic philosophy, as he opted for a simple, independent and self-reliant lifestyle, free from outside influences. Now, I'm not suggesting you pack up and go live in the woods like Thor, but instead, think about the wisdom of Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. In a world where information is constantly changing and opinions are plentiful, solitude can help you find inner strength through reflection, joy in discovery, and peace in knowing you're on your own authentic path. Number 4. Ability to think deeply. Those who value solitude frequently possess the capacity to delve profoundly into introspection and self-reflection. Those who think profoundly strive for truth and significance in all parts of life. They do not readily accept information, but rather continually question and reflect in order to attain a more profound comprehension. Someone who enjoys solitude and has the capacity to think deeply finds peace of mind, learns and evaluates themselves, connects deeply with themselves, understands their strengths and weaknesses, and recognizes what they can and cannot change. This self-awareness helps them see things from a broader perspective and has a richer understanding of life. Encourages perseverance and self-assurance in the face of adversity. Those with the capacity for deep thought may assess a problem's context and come up with a workable solution without outside interference. This enables individuals to not only triumph over obstacles, but also gain wisdom and development from these tests. By mastering their emotions and approaching problems rationally, individuals can attain a state of tranquility. Stoic philosophy teaches us to see things for what they really are, not how they seem. The only way to understand the ultimate nature of things is to sit down and reflect on them. Some people understand this, while others don't. Those who do will eventually learn to value solitude and the precious time for reflection. The power of your mind and soul will become apparent when you learn to reflect and delve deeper into everything in life. Are you ready to seek truth in your life and take the time to reflect? If so, like this video to let us know you're ready. One of the most important cognitive abilities, the capacity to think deeply, enables one to comprehend complicated ideas, analyze difficult problems, and come to logical conclusions. Mastering this skill demands more than just knowing the basics. It calls for persistence, thoughtful inquiry, and contemplation. Academic research, problem-solving, personal development, and decision-making are just a few areas that rely heavily on deep thought. It helps people form new connections, question long-held beliefs, and come up with original solutions, all of which contribute to a more complete picture of the world. Realize how critical context and background are. A thorough familiarity with the background of a subject is necessary for deep thought. Studying the subject's impact on society, culture, and the past is an important part of this process. You can find connections and patterns that aren't obvious at first glance if you take the time to understand the bigger picture. Inquire more deeply. Asking questions that probe beyond the obvious is a key component in honing one's capacity for deep thought. Thinking critically and asking questions such as why, how, and what if can lead to a better understanding of the situation and its possible solutions. Critical thinking and a more thorough understanding of the subject at hand are fostered by this method. Welcome ambiguity and complexity. The complexity and multidimensionality of many topics are recognized by deep thinking. Instead of looking for clear-cut solutions, it's about accepting and even celebrating ambiguity. One way to become more knowledgeable and well-rounded is to learn to appreciate the subtleties and different points of view in any given circumstance. Take part in self-reflection. Part of thinking deeply is reflecting on what you've thought. It entails collecting your thoughts, experiences, and information and analyzing them. Building on prior information, filling in blanks and coming up with fresh concepts can all be aided by reflective thinking. This introspection can be aided by activities such as keeping a journal or talking about thoughts with other people. Draw conclusions by combining data. A key component of deep thinking is the ability to integrate disparate pieces of knowledge into a unified whole. As part of this procedure, you will need to compare and contrast various points of view, look for commonalities, and incorporate new information with what you already know. A more nuanced and profound view is what we aim to achieve by coming up with new ideas. People can improve their problem-solving abilities, make better judgments, and make significant contributions to their areas of interest and society as a whole by cultivating and refining their capacity for deep thinking. Number 5. Ability to manage emotions. It's not about getting rid of emotions, but rather about learning to govern our reactions to the things that happen to us, as the philosopher Epicurus stressed multiple times. Have you ever wished there was a way to control your reactions to fleeting emotions? Those who are able to do so do not allow negative feelings to control them. Instead, they recognize that emotions are just reactions and should not control their choices and behaviors. Being present with your emotions, rather than attempting to run away from them and gaining a deep understanding of them, may be quite powerful. Those who value their alone time skillfully tap into this power. They master their emotions, not by repressing or dismissing them, but by delving into them, studying them, and discovering where they come from and how they impact their logic. Sitting alone and reflecting on one's reaction, questioning its origins, can help one develop better responses. Have you ever questioned the nature of your strong emotions, like anger or happiness, and why? We are halfway through our journey, and your presence is encouraging as we work to spread the true values of Stoic philosophy. Please like and share this video to help build a peaceful and happy world, and leave a comment saying you are ready to continue with the next 5 lessons. Number 6. Ability to self-learn and develop. In today's dynamic, fast-paced world, the capacity to study and grow on one's own is more important than ever. Rather than depending only on formal education, self-learners take the initiative to acquire new knowledge and abilities. This kind of proactive thinking gives people the tools they need to grow as people, adapt to new situations, and maintain their relevance in their industries. Nowadays, everyone may take use of the abundance of instructional content and online courses to help them achieve and grow over time. Self-directed education. Those who learn best on their own initiative take ownership of their education by pinpointing specific skill gaps. Finding books, online courses, or tutorials to help you reach your learning goals is part of this process. Efficient use of resources. The abundance of knowledge available on the internet has made it easier than ever to locate educational resources. Massive open online courses, MOOCs, instructional websites, discussion boards, and libraries are some of the tools used by self-learners. Thinking critically and solving problems. If they want to be able to assess information and find solutions on their own, self-learners must hone their critical thinking skills. Doing so necessitates checking presumptions with evidence and drawing conclusions based on facts. Effective time management and self-control. Time management and self-discipline are essential for effective self-learning because they allow you to stay focused and organized. Making a plan for your study time and sticking to it might help you stay motivated and see how far you've come. Improving. Over time. Because they know that learning never ends, self-learners adopt a development mentality. They actively seek out criticism, think critically about what they've learned, and push themselves to grow intellectually. You may be aware that Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius form the trifecta of Stoic philosophers. However, of these three, only Epictetus endured the indignity of being born into slavery. Despite facing insurmountable odds, Epictetus never stopped seeking wisdom and bettering himself. He studied and trained himself to become a great philosopher with deep ideas about liberty and ethics. His example has inspired countless people throughout history. Learning does not end with a formal education or the confines of a classroom, as Albert Einstein famously stated. When you stop learning, you start dying. In addition to the dread of failing grades, genuine interest and the excitement of discovery are powerful motivators for learning. Learning becomes more of a joy rather than a chore for self-learners when they are able to tailor their learning experiences to their interests, needs, and worldview inquiries. They don't study for accolades, but rather for themselves. In solitude, they can delve deeply into knowledge, investigate questions, and develop self-discipline, all without the oversight of a traditional educational system. The act of self-teaching goes beyond mere knowledge acquisition. It embodies the Stoic values and serves as a tribute to the strength of the human spirit in overcoming challenges on the path to wisdom. I would love to hear your thoughts on the qualities of self-study and self-development. Do you agree with this perspective or have your own? If you disagree, please don't hesitate to comment below so we can discuss and explore the truth together. Being alone and self-studying does not mean losing connection with the world. On the contrary, it leads to a deeper connection with the community as self-learners use their profound knowledge to contribute to society. Have you ever seen a self-taught person who keeps everything to themselves and shares nothing with the world? Most self-learners are enthusiastic contributors to their communities, acting for the benefit of everyone. Number 7. Strong mental health recovery ability. One of the guiding principles of Stoicism is to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. While we may not be able to influence external events, our reactions to them are within our control. As Epicurus famously said, the only way to happiness is to stop worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Those who value solitude and quiet contemplation are the ones who most effectively practice this principle. By spending time alone, they strengthen their minds, by which embracing challenges not with melancholy or whine, but with appreciation for the opportunity to evolve through realizing that life is a thrilling adventure brimming with revelations. Think about Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, and author of the seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning. Despite seeing and enduring unfathomable suffering and death, Frankl was caught and held at Eitz and other concentration camps throughout Watuwu. Rather than giving in to hopelessness, Frankl discovered purpose and meaning in his pain, and came to terms with the fact that, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, individuals have agency over how they respond. I have a question for you. When do you think people are at their most creative? I'm sure you'll have a lot of different answers, but I think that great thinkers and Stoic philosophers would say that when they are alone, that's when they are most able to face adversity head-on and learn from it. If you haven't taken the time to strengthen your mental fortress, spend some quiet time alone reflecting. Number 8. Creative thinking and problem-solving ability. If you're stuck on a problem and can't seem to get a solution, it's not because you're not smart or talented enough, it's because you haven't used your imagination. So, find a peaceful spot, sit down, and think about the problem. People who thrive when they're alone are able to focus on the task at hand without interruptions, so they come up with creative, effective solutions. Are you ever curious about how to transform a challenging situation into a chance for personal growth? How can you enhance your creative thinking and problem-solving skills for everyday life? People who value solitude tend to have better problem-solving abilities, which is linked to their ability to maintain inner peace and control their emotions. They know that by breaking down the problem into its component parts, they can arrive at the best solution. Because of their laser-like concentration, they are immune to fears, insecurities, and panic attacks. Having a creative mind is essential for breaking new ground and avoiding monotony. Original thinkers approach problems from several perspectives and come up with one-of-a-kind solutions. As Edison famously quipped, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." In a world full of chaos and problems, leaders are needed to bring about a happy and peaceful life. Have you ever sat alone thinking and looking for solutions to problems? Did you solve the problem? If so, was your approach creative and enthusiastically supported by others? Please share your story with me in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Both in one's personal and professional life, the ability to think creatively and solve problems creatively is crucial. To think creatively is to approach problems in novel ways and develop original ideas for solving them. It promotes a mindset that is open to new ideas and rejects the status quo. Conversely, finding answers to particular problems is what problem-solving is all about. When put together, these abilities allow people to think beyond the box, which in turn leads to creative and successful problem-solving. Appreciating original thought, coming up with fresh ideas and concepts, or making novel connections between old ones is what creative thinking is all about. The key is to think outside of the box, which might result in fresh ideas and surprising answers. It is usual practice to employ methods such as lateral thinking, mind mapping, and brainstorming to foster creative thinking. Divergent and convergent thoughts function. The term divergent thinking describes the mental exercise of coming up with different original approaches to an issue. Wide and unrestricted, it flows effortlessly. However, analyzing and choosing the optimal answer from the created ideas is what convergent thinking is all about. It is concentrated and analytical. Striking a balance between the two types of thinking is essential for effective problem solving. How to solve a problem. Get to the bottom of it. State the problem as precisely as possible. In order to identify the correct remedy, it is essential to comprehend the problem. Come up with concepts. Without passing quick judgment or evaluation, use creative thinking skills to come up with potential answers. Take a look at the options and pick one. Evaluate each proposal by weighing its merits and drawbacks. Choose the option that shows the most promise. Put the fix into action. Make preparations to implement the selected course of action. Think back and evaluate. After the solution is put into action, assess how well it worked and make any required revisions. Obstacles to original thought and problem solving. Cognitive blocks, ill-defined perspectives, aversion to change, and inflexible thought processes can all stifle originality. Constraints on time, resources, or an unfriendly atmosphere can all work against an individual's ability to be creative. Mental blocks. Things like anxiety, low self-esteem, and pessimism can also get in the way. Improving one's capacity for original thought and problem solving. Foster an inquisitive mindset. Keep asking questions and trying to understand the world around you. Promote a positive atmosphere. Make an effort to establish a welcoming atmosphere that promotes taking chances and appreciates everyone's input. Do things like play games, solve puzzles, and pursue creative hobbies on a regular basis to keep your mind active and sharp. Work together. New ideas often emerge when people with different backgrounds and experiences work together. Combine diverse perspectives and methods by collaborating with others. If you want to improve your analytical and problem-solving skills, it's a good idea to keep an open mind and be willing to try new things. People may overcome obstacles and propel innovation in many areas of life by learning and using creative thinking and problem-solving strategies. Number 9. Live minimalist. When people think about minimalism, they usually image a life without a lot of stuff. People who practice it typically purge their homes and offices of unnecessary objects and give them to charity. While this is true, it is just one aspect of simplicity. People often assume that living a minimalist lifestyle will strip life of its joy. But in reality, it can bring more color and meaning into your life by allowing you to explore life without unnecessary burdens. When you let go of unnecessary things, you become free to embark on every journey without impediments, and that is the essence of minimalism. Attaining enlightenment and spiritual independence, according to Stoic thinkers, is more valuable than amassing a large quantity of material possessions. Epicus wealth, according to a renowned Stoic philosopher, is not measured by material goods, but by the absence of needs. Those who treasure solitude are able to discern their life's purpose, unfettered by superficial material possessions or insatiable wants, and instead locate fulfillment in the little things in life. Being able to live with less allows us to put more effort into growing as individuals and fostering meaningful connections with those around us. We are able to do this because we aren't encumbered by superfluous possessions which take up valuable time and energy. True freedom comes from letting go of material demands and societal expectations. Minimalist life doesn't imply giving up everything, but rather learning to choose and retain what is meaningful. Is it possible to embark on a minimalist path by letting go of all the extraneous things in your life? What happens when you prioritize your true principles and disregard superficial ones? According to Stoic philosophy, intuition is a powerful instrument for self and world awareness. Intuition is more than just a sixth sense. It's a blend of experience, knowledge, and profound insight. Those who value intuition highly. In quiet moments, people explore their nature and find deeper wisdom to guide their decisions and actions. We all have an inner voice that gets drowned out by the noise of daily life, but when we sit quietly, we can hear that voice more clearly. So, why is intuition important? Picture yourself at a crossroads, unsure of which path to choose. Without reason or logic, would you just turn at random? Would you be confident that the end of that road would be a rose garden instead of a bottomless pit? If you were to leave your comfort zone, would you still be confident in your choice? In these moments, intuition leads you to the correct route. A person's actions are more in line with their true nature when they listen to and trust their intuition. This is because intuition connects people to their inner selves, which in turn helps them make better decisions and live lives that are more meaningful and satisfying. Have you ever pondered the ways to tune into your gut sensations more often? What if you started to trust and act on your intuition more? Take a minute to sit quietly by yourself and listen to your heart. In these moments of isolation, you can gain a clearer sense of your inner voice and strengthen your intuition. By doing this, you participate in a profound act of self-discovery and personal growth. According to Epicurus, being alone should be referred to as a state of tranquility and freedom. In this state, one should imagine themselves as a god, fully in control of their thoughts and emotions. This is why Stoicism advocates for solitude, not only for the sake of peace and quiet, but also to cultivate a number of admirable traits, as discussed in this video. Having these traits allows us to live lives that are rich with meaning and purpose, even when we're by ourselves. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means choosing to be alone so that we can connect with our inner thoughts, learn to love and accept ourselves no matter what, and develop a strong attitude towards life. Thank you for watching this video. May the lessons from Stoic philosophy inspire and empower you to live autonomous, resolute, and purposeful lives. Feel free to leave a comment below, letting me know if you're enjoying the content. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I can make it better. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my videos. To develop into an authentic Stoic, continue viewing the suggested videos. Looking forward to seeing you on our forthcoming voyages of exploration into Stoic philosophy.